The lights inside the America's Got Talent theater glow softly as the crowd buzzes with anticipation. Thousands of people fill the seats, their voices blending into a low roar of excitement. On stage, the massive AGT logo shines behind the judge's desk. Simon Cowell, Heidi Klum, Howie Mandel, and Sofia Vergara sit comfortably, ready for another audition. They've seen it all: singers, dancers, danger acts, and dreamers from every corner of the world. Or so they think. From backstage, a 9-year-old boy stands quietly, clutching a small deck of cards with both hands. The cards are old, their edges slightly worn, as if they've been shuffled thousands of times. His suit is a bit oversized, sleeves hanging past his wrists. His shoes shine, but they're clearly borrowed, maybe from a big brother or father. He takes a deep breath, his chest rising and falling faster than it should. A producer kneels beside him. "Are you ready?" she asks gently. The boy nods, though his eyes tell a different story. They're filled with nerves, but also determination. This stage is bigger than anything he's ever seen. Just months ago, he was practicing magic tricks in his bedroom, standing in front of a cracked mirror, pretending it was an audience. Sometimes he practiced in front of his parents, sometimes in front of his friends at school, and sometimes completely alone. He failed more times than he succeeded. Cards dropped, tricks went wrong, people laughed, not always in amazement, but he never stopped. Now, the curtain begins to rise. The announcer's voice booms through the theater. "Next up, we have a magician." A ripple of curiosity spreads through the audience. A magician? On AGT? That's risky. Magic acts have a history of either being incredible or painfully forgettable. As the boy walks onto the stage, the crowd lets out a soft awe. He looks so small standing under the bright lights. The stage seems to swallow him whole. His steps are slow, careful. Each footfall echoes loudly in his ears. Simon Cowell watches closely, eyebrows slightly raised. Another kid, he thinks. Simon has judged countless child performers. Some were talented, many were not. Children, while charming, often rely more on cuteness than skill. And magic? That's even harder. Real magic requires timing, confidence, and control, things even adults struggle with. The boy reaches the center of the stage and stops. He looks out at the sea of faces, thousands of strangers staring back at him. For a brief moment, his mind goes blank. His hands tremble. The judges wait. Finally, Simon breaks the silence. "Hello," he says, leaning forward. "What's your name?" The boy swallows hard. "My name is Daniel," he says softly. "And how old are you, Daniel?" Simon asks. "9," he replies. A wave of murmurs passes through the audience. Simon nods slowly. 9 years old. "And what are you going to do for us today?" Daniel grips his deck of cards tighter. "I'm a magician, sir." Howie Mandel smiles instantly. He loves magic. "A magician? That's exciting," Howie says. Simon, however, doesn't smile. "Why magic?" he asks. Daniel hesitates. His voice shakes just a little as he answers. "Because when I do magic, people stop worrying. They smile. And for a moment, they believe something impossible can happen." The audience grows quiet. That wasn't a rehearsed answer. That came from somewhere deep. Simon leans back in his chair. He crosses his arms. "All right," he says. "Whenever you're ready." Daniel nods. This is it. The lights dim slightly, focusing entirely on the small figure in the center of the stage. The massive theater fades away. All Daniel can hear is his heartbeat pounding in his ears. He opens the deck of cards. They fan smoothly between his fingers. The shaking stops. Something changes in his posture, subtle but noticeable. His shoulders straighten, his eyes sharpen. This is his world now. Cards, motion, focus. "Please," Daniel says quietly. "Watch carefully." The audience leans forward. Simon glances at the deck, still skeptical. In his mind, he's already preparing for the worst: clumsy hands, obvious mistakes, maybe a polite clap and a quick thank you. But then, Daniel begins to shuffle. Not awkwardly, not nervously, perfectly. The cards glide from one hand to the other with practiced ease. The rhythm is smooth, almost hypnotic. The sound of cards clicking together echoes softly across the silent room. Simon's eyebrow lifts slightly. Daniel spreads the cards across the table in a perfect arc. His fingers move with confidence far beyond his age. There is no rush, no panic, just calm control. He looks up at the judges for the first time since starting. "Simon," he says. Simon blinks. "Yes? Can you please think of any card?" Simon shrugs. "All right." Daniel turns his head away. "Tell everyone except me." Simon names a card. Daniel doesn't react. He turns back, slowly gathers the cards, and squares the deck with a gentle tap. At this moment, the audience senses it too. This is not a normal kid magician. There's something different, something serious. Daniel takes another breath, steady and deep. The lights reflect in his eyes as he looks at the deck, as if listening to it. The stage is silent, no music, no distractions, just a boy and a deck of cards. And for the first time that night, Simon Cowell is no longer relaxed in his chair. He's watching closely now, because something tells him, this child didn't come here to be cute. He came here to make history. The silence inside the theater becomes almost unbearable. Every eye is locked onto the small boy standing alone beneath the blinding stage lights. The deck of cards rests calmly in his hands, squared perfectly, as if waiting for his command. Daniel lifts his gaze from the cards and scans the judge's table, Howie smiling with curiosity, Sophia leaning forward, Heidi watching closely, and Simon Cowell, no longer relaxed. Simon's arms are uncrossed now. He doesn't realize it yet, but he's already invested. Daniel breaks the silence. "Sir," he says softly, turning toward Simon, "may I borrow you for a moment?" A ripple of laughter runs through the audience. Simon smirks. "I'm already here," he replies. Daniel nods respectfully. "Please take the deck." Simon hesitates, then reaches forward and takes the cards. He flips through them quickly. Front, back, faces, suits, nothing unusual, just a normal deck. "No tricks?" Simon asks. Daniel smiles nervously. "Only magic." The audience chuckles. Simon hands the deck back, still unconvinced. "All right, go on." Daniel takes the cards and spreads them face down across the table. "Please point to any card," he says. Simon points. Daniel slides the chosen card out smoothly and turns it face up. "Please sign your name," Daniel says, handing Simon a marker. That changes the atmosphere, instantly. A signed card means there's no room for deception. Simon raises an eyebrow, then signs boldly across the face of the card. The camera zooms in, projecting his signature onto the massive screen behind them. The audience gasps. Daniel takes the card back carefully, holding it at the fingertips like something fragile. "Everyone, please remember this card," he says. He places it back into the deck, or at least, it appears that way. Daniel shuffles slowly, deliberately. No fast movements, no cover, no distraction. His hands remain in full view at all times. Simon watches like a hawk. Nothing seems suspicious. Daniel squares the deck and looks up. "Simon, where do you think your card is?" Simon shrugs. "Somewhere in the deck." Daniel nods. That's what everyone thinks. He snaps his fingers. The sound echoes sharply through the theater. Daniel spreads the deck across the table again. The signed card is gone. The audience erupts into shocked murmurs. Simon sits up straight. "Wait, what?" Daniel looks genuinely surprised. "That's strange," he says innocently. "It should be here." He flips through the cards one by one, slowly, clearly. No signed card. Simon's expression changes from amusement to confusion. "Where is it?" Simon asks. Daniel tilts his head. "Good question." He steps away from the table and looks down at his shoes. The audience collectively inhales. Daniel slowly lifts one foot. He removes his shoe. Inside, folded neatly, is Simon Cowell's signed card. The theater explodes. People leap out of their seats, screams echo. Applause crashes like thunder. Howie Mandel slams the desk. Sophia covers her mouth. Heidi laughs in disbelief. Simon freezes. His eyes are wide, his mouth slightly open. How? Simon begins, then stops. He has no explanation. Daniel gently places the shoe back on and holds the card up for everyone to see. The signature is unmistakable, but he's not done. Sir, Daniel says, his voice steady now. That was just the beginning. The applause slowly fades as the audience realizes there's more. Daniel returns to the table and places the signed card back into the deck. Please watch closely, he says again. He gives the deck one single cut. Nothing fancy. He hands the deck to Howie. Please shuffle. Howie shuffles enthusiastically, laughing. I'm trying to mess you up, kid, he says. Daniel smiles. That's okay. Howie hands the deck back. Daniel places it on the table and spreads it face down. Simon, Daniel says, would you like to try something? Simon nods cautiously. Please place your hand on any card, Daniel instructs. Simon does. Daniel doesn't touch the deck. Instead, he steps back. Lift your hand, Daniel says. Simon lifts his hand. Underneath is his signed card. The crowd goes wild again. Simon's chair slides backward as he stands halfway up, shaking his head. No, that's not possible. Daniel raises a finger gently. One more thing. The noise dies down once more. Daniel gathers the cards and squares the deck carefully. He holds it up at eye level. Everyone, he says softly, imagination is powerful. He waves his hand over the deck. The cards instantly turn blank. No numbers, no suits, just white. A stunned silence fills the room. Daniel slowly spreads the deck face up. Every single card is blank, except one. In the center of the deck sits a single card with bold black letters written across it. Simon Cowell. The audience loses control. People scream. Judges stand. Cameras shake. Confetti cannons fire. Simon stares at the card, frozen. For the first time all night. He doesn't speak. He can't. Daniel looks up at him, smiling. Not proudly, not arrogantly, just happily. A 9-year-old boy, holding a deck of cards, just rewrote what magic looks like on the AGT stage. And everyone in that room knows it. This is no longer an audition. This is a moment that will be remembered forever.